Okay, we'll begin with some breaking news coming in at this moment. Peter Mukerjea was interrogated till late last night. Family members of Peter Mukerjea, who were with Peter at the CBI headquarters in Mumbai, left around 1:30 a.m. at night. However, Peter's son Rahul Mukerjea is still believed to be inside the CBI headquarters. So that's the latest coming in. While Peter Mukerjea has been arrested after the interrogation that took place till late in the night, the son officially not arrested, but he is still believed to be inside the CBI headquarters where the questioning at present is going on. Let's go across to Mayuresh joining us from Mumbai. Morning, Mayuresh. Can you tell us what exactly has been the line of questioning of the Central Bureau of Investigation? What are they trying to establish?
Certainly, Sanket, yesterday when we had word with Mahesh Jetmalani, he told us that Peter has been arrested under 201, that is destruction of evidence. So accordingly, the CBI is asking him questions about the evidences, about the financial transaction also, because as we all know that when this case was, Mumbai police was handling this case, that time also many times, or more than 2 to 3 times, Peter was questioned by Mumbai police about the financial transaction and about the relationship between him and other family members, including the Sheena, including the Indrani. So on the similar lines, CBI is asking him question. CBI today will present Peter Mukerjea in the court around say 11:30, where they will ask for his custodial interrogation. They will ask for his custody so that they can investigate this matter further. They can question him on other parts also related to this case. So right now we have been given to understand is that till late night, that is 1:30, around 1:30, he was questioned about the whole case, about the financial transaction, about the relationship between family members, about his role, and about did he destroy any kind of evidences and other sort of questions CBI asked him. Rahul is still inside, though he has not been arrested by CBI officially, but still he is inside. Back to you, Rahul.
That's right. Mayuresh, you say that Rahul is still inside at this moment, but it'll be interesting to know where does this case go from here as far as Peter Mukerjea is concerned. He has been booked under charges of destroying evidence. Can you take us through any details that you may have learnt about the charge sheet that will be filed in this particular case, and also a word on the legal assistance that Mahesh Jetmalani was willing to provide Peter Mukerjea only till the time the charge sheet was filed?
Second, we don't have exact details of the charge sheet, what exactly is about, but that is sure that charge sheet doesn't mention Peter's name. If CBI feels that Peter is also very much involved in this case, and he was knowing all the things as per the confessional statement that we have got the information from our sources that Shamvar Rai said, and on the basis of that Peter got arrested. So if CBI feels that his involvement is also there and he was knowing the facts but still he was hiding, that time his name can be added to that supplementary charge sheet. But so far his name is not there. The charge sheet is against all 3 main accused, that is Indrani, Shamvar Rai and Sanjeev Khanna. Back to you, Sanjay.
Now, one of the prerequisites, Mayuresh, is going to be the fact that Peter Mukerjea will have to be produced before a court after being arrested. And there is a medical test that also needs to be done, which is again a prerequisite for all those people who are arrested. Can you take us through those details? Because the information that we are getting in, and we got in late in the night yesterday, was that it is quite possible that instead of taking him to the hospital, doctors are going to come to the place where he has been arrested.
Certainly, Sanket, it happened yesterday. Also, the team from the JJ hospital came and inspected him. Today, also, we are expecting before leaving court, the team of the JJ doctors will come here and inspect him about his medical condition and about his health, and then only he will be taken to the court. But still, we are waiting here for the more details. But that's a routine procedure that when the person gets arrested, his medical checkup, police has to do his medical checkup around say within the 24 hours. So we are expecting that again the JJ team will come here at this spot and they will do a whole medical checkup, and after that he will be taken to the nearby court.
A couple of interesting points where it'll be interesting to know what you have gathered as a reporter on the ground. Number one, CBI sources saying that the car used for the murder was hired from an agency linked to Peter Mukerjea. How does this get traced back to Peter Mukerjea himself?
See, sir, Sanket, when this issue of car came, that time also when we approached the particular person who handles this agency, he said that Peter Mukerjea, off camera he told us that the Peter Mukerjea is his old client. So certainly, if the car has been hired from the Peter Mukerjea's residence or from the Indrani Mukerjea, so the big question is that why or how Peter was not aware of such thing when the car was hired. That's the number one question which CBI will also ask him. Second thing is that the same car was parked in his own garage at his residence in Worli. So second question is that how Peter was not aware that some anonymous car or the hired car has been parked in his own garage. So these are the two main questions which certainly CBI will be asking him. And as you said that Peter gave a lot of the statements which Peter gave and Indrani, there are a lot of discrepancies between them. So that's why even CBI needs his custodial interrogation to ask him more questions to get further information.
Now,
In
layman terminology, Mayuresh, in layman terminology, custodial interrogation would mean that there is a possibility where the two of them will be face to face, and then their own statements will be put to them to see whether there is consistency or inconsistency, right?
See, Sanket, right now, Indrani and other three accused, they are into magistrate custody. They are not into the CBI's custody. But if once CBI gets the custody of Peter Mukerjea, they can ask him questions at any time. As we said that yesterday night, also late night at 1:30, the interrogation got over. So there is no such time frame for that. So CBI can ask him question at any point of time. So there will be no comfort level or no luxury that Peter will come to CBI office. Or there will be no comfort level for him.
Okay,
so CBI will ask him tough questions at any given
absolutely.
time.
Mayuresh, now do stay on with us. What we are now going to do, stay on with us. Now what we are now actually going to do is show you, and you will have to listen into the reasons that led to the arrest of Peter Mukerjea. TV Today Network's managing editor takes us through a few of these pointers.
The 5 big reasons why Peter Mukerjea has been arrested in the Sheena Bora murder case. A sensational twist in one of the most sensational murder mysteries in India. Reason number 1, the CBI says it needs custodial investigation of Peter Mukerjea. They need to take him into custody, they need to interrogate him, because then they can force him to answer questions which he is not answering otherwise. Reason number 2, Peter Mukerjea was not cooperating in the probe. Reason number 3, Peter Mukerjea has been given conflicting statements. When asked the same question on different occasions, Peter Mukerjea has been coming up with differing answers. Reason number 4, officers believe that Peter Mukerjea was guilty of suppression of facts, that he knew for a very long while about what had happened with Sheena Mukerjea, but he did not reveal this to the public, and the police believe he's guilty of suppression. Finally, Peter Mukerjea has been charged with playing a role in destroying evidence.
Now, Mayuresh, one of the reasons that the CBI feels that he needs to be interrogated, he needs to be questioned, and there has to be custodial interrogation is because they feel that his statements and his replies are inconsistent. Can you, Mayuresh, take us through a few of those inconsistencies in his statement?
Certainly, Sanket, if you remember when this case broke out, when this murder mystery broke out, that time also when Peter Mukerjea gave us a phono interview, that time he said that I was not aware that Sheena is daughter of Indrani. Indrani introduced me that Sheena is my sister. Number 1. After that, after 2 to 3 days after this statement, he said that Indrani only told me that Sheena is her daughter and not the sister. This is 1. Second, when his son Rahul had gone to the police station to lodge a complaint, that time he said that Sheena is missing from past so many days and I want to lodge a complaint. That time Indrani told that Sheena is very much she's abroad and she's settled there and she doesn't want to have any connection with the family members and especially with the Rahul. That time Rahul told that if her passport is with me, then how can she go abroad? That time also Rahul told the same thing to the Peter Mukerjea, but that time Peter Mukerjea ignored this fact. So certainly if a person is having a passport in India, then how can the person go and stay and get settled in abroad? That's the big question. So these are the two, I can say, the best examples of the discrepancies which Peter Mukerjea and between the Peter Mukerjea and the
Now it's interesting, Mayuresh. It's interesting that you are mentioning these points about inconsistent statements, because he gave one such inconsistent statement to India Today as well. Let's play out this phone interview that we had carried out on the day when this controversy had broken out initially. Peter Mukerjea spoke to India Today, and this is what he had to say.
Look, my version is very, very clear, is that, look, I am completely shocked and horrified by the information that I'm getting and by the revelations that are coming out almost by the hour, both in terms of, who Sheena Bora actually is, whether she's sister or daughter, who is Mikhail, whether he's brother or son, how many marriages Indrani has had in the past, and the entire episode of Sheena Bora going missing and being, murdered, so to speak. Well, I know of them, I've met them, there's no doubt about it, and they were introduced to me as Indrani's siblings. And so I have no reason to doubt that. When I met them, that's what they said, and there was, I was introduced as my younger sister and my younger brother, so that was how I related to them in that manner. Throughout my 15-year marriage, I have to say, I never once have met Indrani's parents, nor any other members of her family, and so, I have no contact number for her parents. Never spoken to them, never met them. The only two people I met is Sheena and Mikhail, and I was told that this is brother and sister, so I had no reason to doubt that. Some years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, I had asked her this, because I'd heard this theory, and I asked Indrani about it, and she completely refuted it to the extent that she said that's complete rubbish, and so please do not believe such nonsense. So I said, fine, if that's what you're saying, then as a wife, I believe you. I have no reason to go out and double check the facts or go back and do a back check or anything, because that's not what you do. She was in a relationship with my younger son, and I wasn't fully in approving sort of status of that, nor was Indrani, nor was Indrani's parents. So really the communication between us was limited to virtually nothing. Indrani would probably speak to Sheena from time to time, and I would speak to my son, until that communication also stopped at that time, because there wasn't really, it was too fractious a relationship to be in a communication mode. If this is true, if this is all true and it's proved to be true, I think it is wrong of her to have done that. Of course, if it's not true and it's proved otherwise, then fair enough. But if it is true and it is proved to be so, and if for some reason she confesses and says so, then of course I'm going to be horrified and feel betrayed. When my son said this to me, it was a doubt in the back of my mind.
Yes.
But I can't say no, there wasn't a doubt. Of course, that doubt got created, and that doubt, then I put it aside, because I believed my wife was speaking the truth and my son was being given information by his girlfriend. And I thought at that point that what my wife was telling me was more accurate than otherwise. I'm the one who's facing one of the biggest, the biggest shock, because I'm living with it. And it's something that I had broached with Indrani at one point after I'd heard from my son about it. I said, look, is this possible? She's, Rahul is telling me that she's your daughter. And he said, what rubbish? This is not so. So that was the end of that conversation. So there was really no any further discussion on that, because I wasn't going to, as I say, I wasn't going to go back check and go, investigating behind that. Because that was, that's not the way to lead a relationship. And so, really, there was nothing more to discuss, and it was a taboo subject. It was a taboo relationship. So we didn't really discuss it over the dining table or whatever.
Okay, that was Peter Mukerjea's statement in August this year, when he made certain comments which CBI believes may not be totally correct. Now, this is just one aspect. The murder is one aspect which the CBI is investigating. The other aspect that they're looking at is a possible financial angle that the CBI and the Mumbai police had initially started working on, the whole angle of money laundering. And let me go across to Mukerjea Loiwal at this moment. Morning, Mukerjea. Now, it is believed that there were some unknown Kolkata companies that Indrani and Peter allegedly own, which were probed by the Mumbai police for money laundering. Can you take us through this particular aspect?
Absolutely right, Sanket. There have been different financial angles that the CBI is probing into. That also starts with the fact that there was an angle of the Sanjeev Khanna being involved in the entire case of the financial transactions in INX Media also. But it does not stop there. There were possibilities of more money laundering that could have had some kind of elements based in Kolkata. Now, this could be in the name of anonymous properties, or this could also have been in the name of some joint ventures. But this also is being probed because the angle that Peter knew a lot about the relationship of Sanjeev Khanna as well as Indrani Mukerjea, not just on the personal front but also on the professional and the financial front, is also being investigated. CBI does not want to leave any stone unturned as far as the relationship with Mikhail is also concerned, especially because Mikhail has been operational out of Assam. He used to travel a lot to Mumbai. He had been staying there, and then one fine day after Sheena Bora's murder, he shifted back to Guwahati, but on the promises that the funds would continue. So the financial angle and the transactions cannot be underestimated or ignored, especially in this case.
That's right, Mukerjea. Do stay on with us. Now, these are the 5 questions that we have prepared here on India Today. Based on what we have learned, the information that we are getting, the questions that Peter Mukerjea can't hide behind. He will have to give the answers to these questions. Question number 1. Was Peter's stated ignorance about Sheena an act? Was it an act, or was there actually something which was the truth in the statement that he had actually given out? Point number 2, or question number 2, will Peter's son Rahul counter his father Peter when they are questioned together? Remember, custodial interrogation means that in some cases you put one person against the other person in a particular case. You have already interviewed them separately, interrogated them separately, taken their statements, and when you put them face to face and then try to ask them these questions, then in that case the police or the CBI looks for inconsistencies in the statement. Question number 3, can Peter prove that he did not conceal evidence? That is going to be an important point that the CBI would like to ask Peter Mukerjea. Question number 4, can Peter dodge counter from Indrani and son? As we told you, that when they actually are together and when the line of questioning is to a point where the same questions are hammered again and again, will there be consistency, or will Indrani and her son counter Peter Mukerjea? 5th question, CBI has specific evidence of what Peter allegedly concealed. Do they? Will they question him along these lines? All these are subject matters of investigation. Now, let's quickly go back to Mayuresh, who joins us from outside the CBI headquarters. Mayuresh, can you show us around? Where exactly is the CBI headquarters? Where is Peter Mukerjea at this moment? And also it is believed that Rahul Mukerjea is still inside that office. His questioning is still going on. How likely, and I'm asking this question because it'll be interesting to know, how likely is the possibility of him also being taken into custody of the CBI for questioning?
Certainly, Sanket, right now my camera person Mangesh is showing you the visuals of CBI office here at the Nariman point, where Peter Mukerjea and Rahul has been kept since yesterday evening. Peter is behind the office which you are seeing right now. Behind this there is another barrack where Peter and Rahul has been kept. And as you said about whether CBI will arrest Rahul or not, the CBI will or CBI or any other investigative agencies usually arrest people when they are not helping in a probe, when they are not helping the agencies in the interrogation or any or in the course of the probe. But so far Rahul is helping the CBI in this course of interrogation in this whole case. So it is unlikely that CBI will arrest him right now. Now the focus of CBI is to get the custody of Peter Mukerjea. Somewhere around 11:30 CBI will produce him in the local court over here, where they will ask for custody of Peter Mukerjea to get the more information from him during the interrogation in the custody itself. So right now the focus is on the Peter Mukerjea, and as I said, that Rahul is very much cooperating with the agencies over here. So there is a little chance that CBI may arrest him so soon. Back to you.
All right, Mayuresh, thanks very much, as well as Mukerjea for getting us all the latest. We are going to track all the aspects of this particular story, this particular case, which is very confusing, and there is a great degree of investigation that is actually required to find out what actually had happened. What was the circumstantial evidence, and are there inconsistencies in the statements of Peter Mukerjea?